Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 116. I'm your host Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Good. Slightly hungover, but good.
Yep.
Had a good time last night celebrating a friend's birthday, and now I'm paying for it. But drank a lot of water, got some caffeine in me, good to go for the podcast. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the new Flesh and Blood set and our opinions on the cards and art and Marvels. And then we're going to talk about some Star Wars and how it's going to a galaxy far, far away when it comes to pricing on boxes. And then we got Thunder Junction, doing way better than Karlov.
Way
Surprise!
better than Karlov, but that's not hard.
Not hard, but it is doing it.
It is doing pretty good. Yeah, I actually did a cross comparison to Ixalan too, Lost Caverns, which was a good set just to see, and it's actually holding its own.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I'm
not surprised. I think some of the other content creators will be surprised because they've been poo-pooing it for weeks. I was the opposite.
Well, I'm on board. The limited set seems super cool. I've been following the commons, uncommons, things you'll see in draft a lot, and have been getting ready to do some drafts of it. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, gonna start with some Flesh and Blood and these new Marvels and cold foils and
Go ahead.
It's not my hashtag, not my fab, I guess.
Okay, what's that mean?
But Heavy Hitters is my set. Welcome to Wraith is my kind of sets of just like fighting combat.
You don't
back
want
and forth
mechanics.
Back and forth, not more illusionist, not more.
More illusionist.
All this crazy stuff. Illusionist. Here it comes.
Blue everything.
Yep. If you've played another blue card, Inner Chi, it's just going to be a lot of, I don't know.
Resource cheating.
Yeah. Which always goes great.
Yeah, we'll see. I wonder what the meta will look like after this.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the art is gorgeous. It's just not necessarily my cup of tea, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they look awesome. They're back to actual Marvels worth collecting, in my opinion. It's really gorgeous stuff. I don't know if I'll dive in and actually buy some of these or not. If I do, it'll probably be 3 to 6 months after release. I have no desire to grab it contemporaneously anymore, you know?
Sure. I'm curious. Now that we've had, 2 months of Heavy Hitters?
Oh, you want to see what she's at?
Where the Marvels are at.
Yeah, I went over those.
How are they looking?
They're not they haven't come down if you're looking for a cheap Kasai.
Kasai's 300 to both 350.
There you go.
They're starting.
Does that work? Does that work for you? I didn't think so.
No.
I was just saying, I don't think you're there yet.
That's almost $2.
No at 200.
No, I said no at 350. I don't think it's been 200.
You would have bought her at 200?
Yeah.
You would have bought Kasai at 200?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I don't think
299 is the closest it's gotten.
Yes. We've gotten there. One sold for almost 600, which is crazy.
That is insane.
But it started at 350 and hasn't reached this point yet. So I don't know. Maybe once the next set comes and she's no longer.
Come on, this is only one set back. You gotta wait 3 sets. Third set.
No, I know. Yeah. It'll start coming, and maybe it'll hit that 200 mark next set.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like start coming down. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Once the new Marvels enter the market and people want those, and it goes back and forth.
Did the Marvels of Evo was the last one, right? Before, or was it? No, it was Evo was the last one before Heavy Hitters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Marvels
Bright Lights
are worth really worrying about in that one, unfortunately.
No. Dust Till Dawn, though.
Oh yeah, they're terrible in Evo. Good God.
Mm-hmm.
They're so bad. I'm so sad they screwed that up. That could have been cool.
The Angels are still doing well, though.
Yeah, Angels hold up. They're Angels.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Angels. Oh, they are down too a little bit. Figment of Rebirth is going up now, though.
It's all about what's being played.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. His set isn't... The one card I do really want is Stir the Pot, though. Because it's got the cat.
The cat.
Yeah.
The cat making soup.
Yep. Yep. That's so just fun. A card I want on my shelf.
A little black cat making some soup.
Yeah. Yeah. Mystic Instant. It's hard to read on the little font. Legendary, so you can only have one. Shuffle. If you've played another blue card this turn, transcend.
Make some soup. Become a super being.
Now, is this going to be the other art too? Like on the basic card version? Is that going to be the art?
I don't know for sure, but if you look at the other ones where they've shown both, it uses the same art. So I would assume so based on that, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. They're cool. I'm not going to go crazy about them, though.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be in the meta.
Yeah. Meta will change. For sure. I noticed on Twitter people are already complaining about scab skins in Brute. And are now going to be complaining about something in this set, I'm sure.
Oh, was that a thing? Was Twitter being toxic about scab skins?
Yeah.
What a shock.
About the RNG of it. And just
whatever.
The high roll
Twitter
potential.
Always has something to complain about. That's what they do.
Of course.
Twitter is a place for toxic people that want to be toxic to other toxic people. That's what I've concluded.
Yes, that is where...
I haven't found anything useful or good on Twitter in a long time. It's unfortunate that it's just completely decayed into
nonsense.
Madness and angry. Yeah.
But speaking of madness and angry, well, not angry, but craziness.
What's up?
Spark Rebellion booster cases are like $1,200.
That's $200 a box for those at home.
That's a lot of boxes. It's a lot of doll hairs.
It is. It is.
Because boxes are $185 on TCG Play.
Yeah. So, how's that going to affect the local scenes? Yeah.
Here we are. It hasn't trickled down. I haven't really noticed it trickling down to the singles yet, though. So we shall see, because there are a healthy amount of listings of all the singles.
Yeah, but didn't we just talk about this last week, how the singles were the driver of the upward tick in the boxes? Because they consistently pull good stuff, right? And the good stuff is worth large amounts. So
right. So I think we're now at the point where it's no longer EV positive to open.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it's probably close.
Have come down?
No.
Since last week? Because last week it was EV positive and there's a lot of expensive cards in basically every box.
Yes.
And you need the expensive cards to play a deck that's worth playing.
That's not true. There are good decks. Like my Leia deck is not very expensive.
Isn't Leia the most expensive hero?
Well, you don't need it you don't need the showcase to play.
Oh, right. The showcase one.
Yeah, right. The showcase is the second most expensive.
Right. Okay, I was just like, Leia is an expensive hero, though.
You can buy like a 2 cent. Yeah. You don't need a showcase to play.
And do you have a laser in it, or you wouldn't have a Vader? What else?
No Vader, no Boba, no Luke.
Yeah. Is Luke expensive?
Luke is expensive. Hyperspace is up to $60. Gotcha. Regular version sitting around 42.
There's a lot of penny cards.
There is
on page 5, and it's all like under 20 cents. So.
Yeah, it's the hyper playable cards in their regular versions are expensive, and then just the hyperspace versions. I think people are realizing how rare the hyperspace legendaries are, because that is where I've seen movement and prices going up. Like the Boba hyperspace was sitting around 65 for a good amount of time, and now it's up to 100.
Gotcha.
And you don't see the pages of inventory, and a lot of people just have one. A lot of stores. So to get to one where you could buy 3, I don't know if any store actually even has 3.
That would be expensive.
No store has 3. One store has 2. So the hyperspace legendaries really are.
Are you playing Cunning?
No.
It's a $20 card.
It is in my Boba deck, but I'm not currently playing that deck. Yeah, that is. Cunning may be the strongest card in the game.
I feel like most of those two color of the same color cards are really good.
They are very good. It's just they're very good because you had to sacrifice in deck building.
Yeah. The command is 14. That's the green one.
Mm-hmm.
Aggression's 25. That's the red one. Oh, wait. I'm looking at the hyperspace. Dang it.
Yep.
They keep doing that. Well, command is 12 non-hyperspace, so whatever. It's close enough.
Yes.
Force Lightning's 12. Vigilance is the blue one. That's 1189.
Force Lightning isn't one, though.
No, it isn't. I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
I know that's a common one for the red decks.
Yeah, just the standard Cunning is 20. They're good cards.
It's a card game. Cards cost money.
Yes.
Story as old as card games.
Yes. It'll be really interesting, though, because I want the game to continue to grow a player base.
Yeah, that's not happening now.
But when boxes get this expensive, it stops new players from entering as quickly. Like, new players will still come in, but not at the rate they were.
Yeah, they can't buy a box and make a deck. That's very large.
Right, and you're not going to learn the game by ordering a bunch of singles.
No, you wouldn't order singles if you don't have a chance to learn the game, really.
Right.
Now, granted, you do have the starter kits, so
correct.
That's at least an entry point. But
yeah, there are still entry points, and they're not that expensive.
Yeah.
The pre-release kits are up to $70.
Wow. Those were the 5-pack things or whatever.
6-pack?
6-packs, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, 6-packs. So it's over $10 a pack. And then you do get the promo Luke and Vader, though.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really about it. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch because this past week at locals there was less people. It was probably like 18, 19, so we didn't hit that 20 mark, which I thought was interesting. But there are a lot of stores.
To the next game.
There are a lot of stores around us that are running events, so it may be an event fatigue kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely common with something that hypes this big.
Yeah. Showcases are kind of figuring out their true price. Boba's still going crazy, up to $850. But Emperor and Leia are settling around $5, and then Han around $4, and a couple around $3. But the lower ones have all come up. There's no. I think last week even IG-88 was over 100, and now it's up to 200. The cheapest one being Jyn Erso at 170.
Not financial advice.
No.
Sell your freaking cards. This is your time. If you want to make money on these, this is it. You might have another few months, but this is like the peak. Yes, because what happens here is you get less people coming in, so demand starts to dry up.
But do more people come in when the second set comes out and we get more boxes?
But you just said the word. We get more boxes, so supply will increase.
Right.
So another downward pressure thing.
But it'll be the other set.
Depending on how they power creep the next set, how many of these cards become superfluous or not as important. I don't think it'll be many, but some will probably not be as useful.
I think you have just as many cards become not useful as you have cards become useful, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's fair, but that's why I'm saying sell
Yeah.
the cards now. Sell into the hype. Sell
Yeah.
into the hype. It's always good advice.
Yes.
It always works.
Yes, it does.
You can always, miss the top or whatever, but guess
Sure.
what? Timing the top's impossible. Sell into the hype if you have things you want to sell.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
Don't sell the cards you want to play with because you
No.
may not be able to get them back. But
Right.
But if you have extra things or things you don't care about or things that are like a fancy version of something that you don't really intend to play with and you don't want it on your shelf or what, it doesn't have any extra value to you other than it's a valuable card, sell into the hype.
Yeah. Yeah. We shall see. I was able to sell all my Vaders and Bobas and duplicates and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And then by end of year, you think they'll have another wave like people were talking about?
I bet there is. I can't imagine there not being another wave.
I guess it depends on the play, right? Because they'll have a lot of stat tracking from the app, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be able to see are we waning on players, and then make a decision on another wave from there. And
True.
How they release
True.
it. Because if it is slowing down for whatever reason, then you don't necessarily need to put another dump on the market.
True. Yeah, if boxes say they level out at this $200 price range, and they never get to 3. They don't push. This year is the time frame I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If they hit 300, then I think you do.
But the new set comes out, people would rather buy that, and
Oh, sure, because it's
you get your fatigue, not your fatigue, but your old set doldrum,
Yeah. Now, do you see people go harder on release for the second set when boxes are available?
Probably. I would say that's the positive side effect of what, kind of the successful release that they've had.
Because I plan on going harder for the second set.
I mean, it makes sense because a lot of people are going to be worried about it. Now, how much do they print,
Probably similar.
Yeah, I don't know how far back they had to plan for this.
I think they have I think they said they have the first 3 sets printed. But the thing is, they are printed in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So they can... Hopefully, they can get more boxes out sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question. If they had to say an amount before the first release hit, which is possible because these are very close releases, Yeah.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe this is underprinted too, and because they did not expect the demand they got.
It could be.
So even if they were just okay, first set plus 25% because we think we got something, right? They said they thought it was gonna be a good release, just not as good as it was. So 25% increase, or I'm making numbers up obviously, but for the second set, and they were blown out of the water on the first, 25% increase is probably not going to be enough for the demand, assuming it sticks, which I can't see it not sticking at this point.
Right, and you have the Mandalorian in this set.
Well, and it's soon, right?
July.
Oh, it's all the way in July? I thought they were already doing previews.
They did just start doing previews.
Oh, that's early. I thought it was sooner than that. Okay. Well, if it's all the way in July, then...
That's kind of my concern is
I don't know.
You have not much supply of boxes till July?
Yeah, that's rough. Well, no, they have another set. They said the wave was coming out for May, wasn't it? Didn't they?
I hope so.
Yeah, I thought they said that. That was the one that they were saying they were going to reward the stores that were running events.
Yeah, those boxes are already hitting stores.
Oh, they are? I didn't realize.
Yeah.
A week later?
Or so.
We were just talking about this last week. There's no way they're hitting stores.
No, but it's only a couple boxes. I know one of my stores was able to get a couple boxes. But they're keeping them for draft stuff.
Yeah, how are they have 1 week of data. How is that rewarding stores that are running events?
What do you mean?
It's only 1 week of data. You don't know who's actually going to run events for any period beyond the release. If they actually release those boxes already, I think that's dumb.
Not all.
They don't have enough data for it, in my opinion.
Well, they said they weren't going to release all of them at once.
Oh, so they'll just trickle more out over the course.
Yeah.
Well, then what are we even talking about here? We have no idea what the supply is. If they're trickling out over the next 4 months or whatever,
Right.
So we really have no idea.
No.
No.
This is
Well,
all
who cares
speculation.
then? Well, then who cares? Who cares?
I don't know. They're my thoughts
Sell
on
into
it.
the hype.
Oh,
Sell into the
absolutely.
hype, people.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about
Absolutely.
it. Boxes will come. And yeah, I don't know. If they're gonna, we have no idea. If they're trickling out over 4 months. God.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm saying is I don't think boxes will I don't think those extra boxes really hit the market the way release did.
I mean, that means they're engineering this price rise.
Could be.
They absolutely are.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're trickling out over 4 months instead of just dumping the wave, that means they're forcing the price of the boxes up. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Like, that's by choice. Not
I mean, it makes the game look good.
Does
Maybe
it?
I mean, One Piece.
I think after 200, it actually makes it look pretty bad because no one wants to play a game where they can't afford a box.
That's true.
Like new players definitely.
I don't know.
In.
One Piece has something to say about that. Lots of people play One Piece. Boxes go over $200 a box.
I thought it just started to die off pretty heavily because no one can afford a box.
One Piece? No.
Yes.
It's still going. Is it?
I know. Yeah, it's dying off quickly.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, at least that's what I'm hearing, and the data is supporting it too, because people get pissed off after a few sets and they can't actually get a box.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we're early in Star Wars, so they have time. And this is not One Piece level at all. One Piece was like, first box was like $700.
Yeah, that was silly.
Yeah, this is a very different.
Yeah, I remember going to one of my local stores and there being the first box like a week after it came out for $400.
Yeah, it just shot up and it never came back down. That's the problem. This is why I don't think that's what's happening here, because it's going up quicker than you want. I mean, this is only 2 weeks out of release,
right?
3 weeks. Yeah, it feels like.
Tomorrow is a month from
tomorrow is
the month. Yeah.
Oh, we should look at the data. We said we'd do that this week.
Yep.
Let's pull that data up. What were we comparing it to before? Something terrible, right? Was it Karlov?
I think Karlov or Brothers War.
Oh, Brothers War. That's right. Yeah. Brothers War and Spark. Let's see. See how Brothers War versus Spark. Yep, it beat Brothers War. Oh, actually. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it beat Brothers War on total boxes sold. Basically 10,000 boxes Spark of the Rebellion, 7,000 boxes for Brothers War. Brothers War brought in $1 million revenue. Spark of Rebellion 800,000.
Yeah, because you have collector set.
Exactly. Yeah. Those SKUs make a difference. A big difference.
They do. Man, if they did Star Wars collector boxes,
3,000 less boxes sold and 280,000 more in revenue. That's efficiency for capital.
Mm-hmm.
Let's compare it to Karlov. I want to see.
Are you doing release plus 30?
Plus 30, yeah.
So we still technically have one more day today.
Yeah, close enough.
It's close enough.
Yeah, like Sunday sales are a thing. It definitely, you do sell more on the weekends than you do. And why can't I find it? Murder at Karlov Manor. Oh, I kept going past because of Aftermath. All right. So Karlov sold more boxes.
I wonder if it was that.
And made more money.
Yeah.
So, but you're talking about the king. You're talking about Magic.
Yeah.
Versus fresh startup Star Wars.
And it's in the same ballpark. It's in the same realm. It's not.
I mean, it's 12,000 versus 10,000. It's 2,000 boxes less.
Yeah.
And the revenue it's close. It's like 130,000 off.
Right. And this is a TCG player data. So you did have that, what was it? The big sale of play boosters. The discount that they had.
That's true. Yeah.
Where Star Wars, it was just,
that pumps some
hey,
numbers,
it's here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That is true.
And I mean, you have collector cases as well. in
Well,
there.
Wilds of Eldraine was like a pretty good standard set release before they started with the play boosters, and it did just shy of Wilds. So that's something.
Yeah.
And Wilds didn't have the special, boost TCP player,
Right.
So that's something. That's something.
I am curious about the play boxes. I may pick up a Outlaws play booster. We'll see.
You want to start talking about Magic?
We can.
Magic. What's going on in Magic? What are you excited about? You seem more excited than usual.
Yeah, Outlaws draft.
And why is that? You like Cowboys and Indians?
I like
skeletons, I guess.
I do like Cowboys and I like Limited. And when I do follow a bunch of YouTube channels that focus on Limited Magic, and they're all very excited about this set.
Oh, really? That's good. Okay, so it's funny because I guess the way the algos speak to different people, they hear different things. I heard that the influencers on YouTube, and it was very vaguely stated, so I really don't know, who. This is a buddy of mine basically said that they're all, crapping on it and that this is a terrible set. The Limited people are hyped for it. Personally, I look at the cards and I'm like, they give something to every archetype. So I feel like the Commander people got to be hyped for it. Sure. Although I don't know. I don't really listen to YouTube people.
About and there's some strong reprints in it.
Well, they're in the special slot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which I think is only in the collector box.
Yep.
So
that checks out.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how much those reprints will actually be reprinted. I'm pretty sure that's correct on that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. There's a list slot that's a different thing. Oh, actually, you know what? Some of the the reprints may be in that list slot that's in the, I guess, in the play booster.
That makes sense.
Because it's like Strixhaven,
Yeah, no, I think it's like I think it's 1 in 3 packs or you have like a 20% chance to get one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that actually sounds more accurate. Yeah, this one's a mishmash. So I finally heard why, because they were going to do a March of Machines, but March of Machines did so badly with that little weird box at the second box.
Oh, yeah.
That they canceled it, but it was too late, so they just jammed them all together. And so that's why we have 5 sets. Like, you know how I was complaining about that before? There was actually a reason for that, because they basically were like, oh, that product did so terribly, we have to not do that. And so they had to like figure out how to reconstruct the product. And this is the mess we got as a result. So
that's funny.
I'm glad, because I really don't want 5 sets in every set going forward. Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was not pleased with that. I'm very unpleased with that part. That's probably the part I dislike the most about this set. Everything else seems pretty good. There's a ton of cards I want out of this, because I play too many different archetypes.
Yeah.
And I don't really care so much about the Cowboy stuff. I think it's fine. Like, I'm not against it.
I don't know. I like fun themes that are in a limited set that, I don't know, it makes it feel like cohesive, I guess, opposed to like a generic Magic realm where you get a bunch of artwork that isn't very cohesive. If that makes sense. Like Phyrexia, it felt very cohesive. That's an example of a Magic set with good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that didn't.
Through line.
What set are you talking about that didn't have a good through line? I feel like that's one thing they've been doing consistently for a long time. Wilds of Eldraine. It's all the fantasy fairies.
Yeah. Well, it's also been a while since I've drafted something.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I don't have experience.
Vampires of Crimson, and the werewolves. Like, I don't know.
Those were probably the last ones I drafted.
Yeah, and they were heavy theme. Like, you couldn't get away from the damn wedding.
Yeah.
New Capenna. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something they're pretty good with most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is going to be a crazy set, though. I'm excited. There's so many good cards that I want. I already ordered one. I actually pre-ordered a Magic card.
Dang.
I've done that.
Which one?
I don't remember his name. He's the Gold Wanker. That's what everyone's nickname is for him.
Tiny Bones?
No, not Tiny Bones. Gold something. Vin or something. Vin Gold. Oh God, that's Gold Wanker. It's not Gold Wanker. It's Gold Maker. Gold something. Let me find it. Hold on one sec.
Yeah.
But it's he's ridiculous and fun, and he's in a color set that I don't actually play often. So that means I can use cards I don't use, you know?
Yeah.
And also not have to pull too many cards from other decks in order to make them work. Here we go. Vihan, something like that. Gold. Waker. Okay. I was like, it does look like Waker. I clicked it so it zoomed in I could read it. It's called Waker. That's why they call him Gold Wanker. So, anyways, he's a legendary dwarf. He's red, white, black. That's his cost. It's just a 3 cost. Listen to this guy. He's insane. I was like, dibs in the channel that I have all the commander stuff with. I was like, I want this guy. I want to do this. Other outlaws you control have vigilance and haste, right? And outlaws are assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, warlocks. Yeah. Fantastic. Just that. Forget about everything else. Vigilance and haste makes your commander makes all these things do that. Fantastic. Because a lot of them have tap abilities and stuff, right?
Right.
So you attack with them and do their tap ability. At the beginning of the combat on your turn, this is what got me really excited though. You may have treasures you control become 3/3 construct assassin artifact creatures in addition to their other types until end of turn. So my treasures can attack you. And they have vigilance and haste.
That's gross.
We're going to have an army of dwarves. This is my plan. It's going to be dwarves and treasures. So Magda, she loves dwarves too. Everything I can do. Dwarves and treasures. It's just an army of golden dwarves coming at you.
That's awesome.
It's going to be so fun. I hope there's a lot of good dwarves in the outlaw, like assassin mercenary. I don't know anything about that. I'm sure there's some, but I don't know how many there are.
A lot of them are.
Are there?
One of those things.
Yeah, good. That's fantastic. I'm super excited. So anyways, I pre-ordered him because I wanted it. That's how excited I was. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a Magic card.
I haven't.
Ridiculous. I'm not even going to be able to build them right away because it's going to take a while to get all the pieces. I'm not paying release day prices on that. And I'm sure a lot of the outlaws are in this set,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, because of those different typings, you can go back and there's plenty of old stuff.
That's a pretty wide. D&D has warlocks, right?
Yep.
Assassins are an old school one. That's been around for a while. I don't know what assassin dwarves there are though. Oh, they brought a new Magda in this set. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards in this. But I don't know. I don't feel a rush. I think play boxes are holding up, which that's the box that I've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
And it is sitting around that like 130 pretty well.
That's pretty good, but it's a little early to give any real opinion on that.
Right. Because it's peak hype.
Well, it's not only peak hype, it's pre-release. So not all the stores can list.
Right. That's true.
Like that, like.
But I've been looking around.
I've been heavily constrained.
Sure. And I've been looking around at other places off of TCG Player, and it seems pretty consistent with that.
Well, that's a good sign then.
Yeah. Because I mean, they're not cheap for stores, so I don't know if we'll see the 99 for like we still see for Karlov.
I was gonna say Karlov got wrecked.
Yeah. I don't think we'll see that.
What is the collector box? 140? It's ridiculously low for Karlov.
Yeah. Well, there aren't the cards in the set to give it.
Yeah, the power level's low.
Power level, yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's a huge factor. It is a player's market, even in Magic,
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I saw this article about this dude because, that's how Google is. They know that you're looking at this card, so they send you articles about things that you look at. The Gold Wanker. He's always going to be Gold Wanker in my heart. I love him. They're like, oh, yeah, and by the way, Assassin's Creed. Guess what's in Assassin's Creed?
Assassins.
I was like, oh, no, I'm going to have to buy Assassin's Creed cards. I did not intend to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're weaving and
they're weaving things in. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it's going to be a lower revenue year for them versus last year, but it sounds like that was the intention,
Yeah.
They knew that was happening.
Pivot, take some risks.
Yeah, what do you think about the targeting childs thing for, what was that, Mox that you sent me? You want to talk about that?
Oh,
I think that was an interesting point worth conversing on.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just pull up the title.
Maybe.
MTG Moxman. Go look up his channel. Great channel. Talks about Magic every single day.
Is it really? That's
Yeah,
so funny.
he does a video every day. And basically he had one titled "Wizards is coming for the children: the plan to prosperity and what." But so essentially, he outlined how Magic is making moves to attract a younger audience, which is very important because I when I go to stores, I never see kids playing Magic. Now I know kids do play Magic because you play with one, but that I think is a very outlier situation.
Yeah. Well, so I think I don't know if it's an outlier situation amongst people that have been playing Magic and this older demographic, because I think he's right. Like the demographic has moved up in age.
Yes.
Magic players are older. It just is, right? And
Correct.
there are new players coming in, but they are not particularly young. I think they're people that like Lord of the Rings, which guess what? If you're a Lord of the Rings fan and you grew up with the movies and stuff, you're old now.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like and Doctor Who, I think that's an even older demographic,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
while it's pulling in new players, I think they're older on average. And so this take, I think, is dead on, and Hasbro.
Sure.
That was the part that caught me when he was talking. He's like, Hasbro is a toy company.
Correct.
They make kid toys.
Correct.
That's what they do. So of course they're going to try to take their best performing business unit and target it at what's supposed to be their core demographic. Why wouldn't they?
Right.
Makes total sense. I thought this was one of the best takes. You send me all sorts of stuff. Half the time I'm like, yeah. I thought he did. It was very well put together kind of argument, and it's just speculation like anything else on YouTube, but I can buy into it. And it was funny. Right after, I was clicking through cards for Thunder Junction, and they had this little lizard guy, and it was really adorable. And I was like, you know what?
Yep.
That is an awfully Disney looking lizard.
Yes, it is.
And if I was Hasbro, I would be a little worried about Lorcana and start doing some things to. I mean, not that I think Lorcana is going to steal from Magic, but
again, I think Lorcana can feed into Magic. Lorcana brought kids to the game stores,
and so steal them over.
And then you put Bloomburrow in front of them.
Yep, look at those cute little bunny warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good take. I was very intrigued with it, and it also.
And then we go right into the horror set. So.
Well, so that's the thing that's interesting. It feeds a couple aspects, and we'll see when the art for the horror set comes out. But one, this I've been saying for a while was clearly designed to be an experimental year. Like this does not fit what they were doing before, and it doesn't sound like it fits.
I mean, they shook up the product line like crazy.
Yeah, and so that's why you put it. You're like, okay, get crazy. Let's try some things. Let's see what actually works and doesn't work, and we'll use this data to feed the next few years. But next year already has plans released about a new core story arc. So this is the year of there ain't nothing going on. Like there's no story arc, and that's intentional. Whereas like the previous, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. I'm not sure how long the whole the Phyrexian story had been going, but at least since Kaldheim, because they started introducing Vorinclex in Kaldheim, right? So that ended just then, right? And so the next story arc starts next year. And so this is an in between. It's a gap year. And so they're experimenting, I think, with some of this kid focused stuff. I think that's a part of it. I think the horror set will probably be a little toned down. Like, I don't think you're going to see blood and gore and stuff. You haven't seen that in Magic very much generally in a while. But it's also around like the end of the year Halloween theme period. So you could play into that and still keep it kid friendly while having horrors in a haunted house.
Sure. Yeah.
Sounds a lot like the Disney haunted house rides and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, wow, they really are just trying to grab right at Disney, aren't they? So I don't know. We'll see when that one comes out, because that could also, some of the art that they've shown, I'm like, oh, that could be dark.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be too dark, though.
No.
I think they're going to do a mix. I
What?
think he said that. A mix of art styles.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
stuff to kids, probably like the starter decks and things that are easy grab off the shelf stuff, and
Yep.
then some stuff that's targeted at adults where it's more mature themes, but not necessarily taking it to a level where a kid can't see it.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to get flesh and blood style art. I just don't think.
No.
Like that was one thing that was very unique with Fab, was like it was focused on adult art from day one.
Right. Intentionally. Targeting a different audience. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I thought that was I liked that, honestly.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it attracted me too, Fab.
Yep.
But now we got waifus.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah. Same.
It's played out.
It is. It is. It is. It is.
In my mind.
It is reaching for a demographic.
That's fine.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, if they're doing great in Japan,
and they're trying to expand their
targeting. Yeah, they're targeting the heck out of Asiatic countries, but I think Japan in particular, they were saying.
Yeah, I mean, they have a huge card scene.
Yeah, exactly. And it's if it's taken off there, then yeah. And plus it's local. I think we talked about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast, but I was like, it makes total business sense to focus on a massive market that's in your backyard versus spending a lot of time in America. Yeah, America is a bigger market, but guess what? If you're right there, you can manage distribution, you can manage all sorts of stuff a lot easier than dealing with the American nonsense of our distribution network and how they play the games they play. You know what I mean? It's very different here than it is in Europe and than it is in, Asia.
Yeah.
They have different laws.
Right.
So anything else on Magic? Think of what else is going on that's of interest. I'm just hyped about cards. I've been playing so I went, as you know, I went camping, glamping more than camping, but camping. I did a nice hike, 30 pounds on my back, 3-mile hike.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was solid, good exercise and training. But in most of my downtime, I'm on Archidect playing goldfishing my deck. my dragon deck, because I want to make it work and it doesn't work yet. And so I'm sitting there just doing, draw a hand, play it out, see how it plays, practicing the deck.
Right.
Because you can do it on your phone. It's actually pretty functional. It's a little difficult, but it's pretty functional. I must have played a dozen goldfish games, obviously, not actual games, with this deck while I was away. That's how obsessed I am right now with Magic. It's ridiculous. I was looking at all the cards I could maybe change out, some of the ones coming out, maybe this will add to it. I'm actually going to take my Magda out of this dragon deck and put it into this gold wanker deck.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Well, do you want to do some co-op draft with me? We could record doing a draft on Arena.
Oh, I was like, how would we do a draft on Arena? Yeah, that makes sense. We could do that.
Yeah, I get to share my screen and we can co-pilot and
easy.
Make choices, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. I was like, with just two of us, and how do we co-draft in your living room? I'm like, how does it even work? Yeah.
Through the power of the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Way more sense. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. When is that out? Do they still release them earlier than the release of the physical cards? Or did they stop doing that?
No, they stopped doing that.
Oh, okay. So release days like the April 19th, I think, or something?
I think, yeah, that sounds right.
It's soon.
April 16th.
16th.
Arena.
Right up.
Yeah. 9 days. Then official release is the 19th, but pre-release is next week? Next Friday?
Okay. Well, pre-release wouldn't have the draft, though.
What?
Pre-release is not draft. Or do they do the pre-release on Arena, too?
No, they don't do the pre-release in game stores is next week.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was like, if they're doing an event on Arena, it wouldn't be draft. I would suspect they'd do sealed, the same.
Sure.
I guess. Is that what they do? I don't know. It's been so long. I haven't played
draft
Arena.
Both are available.
Oh, really?
Draft and sealed, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But either way, maybe we start with a sealed and then do a draft after.
Yeah, whatever works.
I don't know. It'd be fun to go over the cards while in a
actually
sealed
trying to
pool.
do something with
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I don't know. I really like the aspect of limited and
I
I don't
wish
know,
I had
just working
more
with what you got.
limited friends. Yeah, I don't have enough limited friends. Tried. When you brought it up, I was trying to sell it to the group, and
Yeah,
only AJ was interested. Everyone else was like, eh.
yeah. It's a hard sell, and it's something that you just kind of have to, if you're not used to it or don't have experience with it,
Yeah.
because you can lose in the draft,
Yes. I think that's why
which
people
is
are
feels
afraid.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was looking at in-person pre-releases, and they're all crazy expensive. It's nuts.
Yeah. I want we If you get a chance to talk to one of the store owners, um, ask them about it. Ask them what they're seeing, if people are signed up,
Yeah,
how Karloff went, because I know Karloff was not like the most hype set, but from what I recall, people were interested in playing it, but I don't know if the price impacted that. You know what I mean?
sure.
So
I
I'm
also
curious
heard
if
bad
this
things
sell.
about the limited set.
But were people? Oh, but
Like it just wasn't a very fun set to play.
yeah, like that's what I mean. After the release happened and people played it, they were like, "This stinks." But like leading up to it, I thought people were pretty excited to try it.
Yeah, I think because of
I
the
just
play packs and the new distribution.
exactly.
But
So I think
your
it did
limited
work.
decks end up with a lot more rares, so it can
Ooh,
be a
that's
little
good,
more.
isn't it? I
Well, it
feel
can
like
be a
that
little
would
more
make it more fun.
swingy.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
Well, plus that set sucked.
yeah, right,
That set sucked. I don't
right.
care. I didn't like the cards in that set. I barely looked at it, and I still haven't gone back and looked at it. I have zero interest.
Yeah. Well, that is also the nice thing about Magic because there's always the next set,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
and then after this is Modern Horizons, so that's
yeah,
going to be a whole thing.
yeah,
And then Assassin's Creed, I think, is
yeah.
after that. Very shortly after that. Oh lord,
And then
Assassin's
Bloomborough,
Creed may get creamed. It's like 20 days after
Modern
something.
Horizons.
Yeah, it is. The Assassin's Creed is gonna get creamed. Oh my god, that's good. Good cheap assassins for me. Oh my god, I didn't realize it was like 20 days later.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to watch what kind of a vacuum Modern Horizons does, or if it doesn't and people reject the prices.
So this is well, yeah. So that I think that's a high risk. I
Yeah,
really do think the prices are crazy high, and while the power level will be also crazy high, I don't know that people are going to buy it.
right.
I don't know. There's a certain price point where people are just like, I can't afford that. Like
Yeah,
I can't justify cardboard at that
at that
price.
price. Yeah,
It just doesn't. I don't have that kind of disposable income.
right.
And that's a
And
area
that's
they are
this
definitely
part of the
bumping into.
month because there's another set coming in.
Well, it's Assassin's Creed, which is like the smaller sets.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, it's not like with Star Wars, right? I plopped down, bought a bunch of boxes. Now I'm good till July. Like, there's not a single card I need.
Yeah.
Where with Magic, there's constantly new cards,
Actually, this is something that I was just looking at. I didn't realize this about the
which is a
release
pro
date.
and con.
Well, we're about to be at the release date for Thunder Junction, right? The next release isn't until like the middle of June.
Yeah.
So I guess it's 2
So
months
what, you have May off?
yeah, you get a month off in prep for Modern Horizons 3.
Yeah. And then less than a month till
20 days later is Assassin's Creed. And then like 1 month later, like to the day, is Bloomborough.
from Assassin's Creed.
It's from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So you basically, if you're ignoring Assassin's Creed because you don't care about, Universes Beyond or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Then you get a month and a half between Horizons and Bloomborough. That's not a lot of time.
It's not.
Not a lot of time. I don't know. Ooh.
Yeah. I think honestly they're trying to. I think they missed up with Markov, obviously, but I think they really are trying to bring standard back.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of effort into it. I don't think they're succeeding, but they're putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm saying talk to the stores. I'm actually
Yeah.
curious what stores who actually, do releases and do stuff are feeling about it.
Yeah. I know the store by me, like the main format that's played is Modern. But
Gotcha. Yeah.
I
I will
wonder
say
if,
one other thing that's different, and this is a weird one, and I don't know, maybe it's just the data I have access to, etc. Outlaws is still sold out. You remember how the last time I was like, yeah, I can't get X, Y, or Z?
yeah.
It's now everything is gone except the play booster case. So I guess it's only the collector and what's the other thing? The little bundles, right? Are sold out. Oh, and the commander products. All of the products are sold out except the play boosters.
I would imagine they will come back once
Oh,
it's
yeah,
out.
yeah. This isn't like actually sold out, but
Yeah.
this hasn't happened in a while.
Right.
Even under Wilds and Ixalan. Because remember, Ixalan, everyone's like, but then
And
they
then
saw
it came
they
out.
were like, they were like, oh, this is amazing. Afterwards, it was sold out. But having it sell out on distro, like allocation level sellout. I don't know how this is done with distro since I don't have an actual direct conversation with them.
Right.
But they clearly have some level of like, you can order X amount and that's all we can provide. And this is reflective of it for Outlaws, which is weird. This is the first time. And Karloff never got close to this. I don't expect it ever to. Ixalan did post-release. Wilds didn't at all. I think it ended up running out of collectors pretty quickly, about the same time as Ixalan did. That's when people were like, heck yeah, good sets, they're back. But like Commander Masters was before that, didn't do that. None of the other things did that, except for probably Lord of the Rings was probably the last thing that had this situation come up. So, whereas like Pokemon, even still, now granted, this is primarily a Pokemon group, but that happens for every set. Every set pre-release, they basically sell out before it comes in.
Yeah, I believe that.
So, yeah, this is crazy because now they're not even calling this pre-order for Outlaws anymore. This is the standard order. Collectors is not put back up here. Neither are the Commander products. Am I going to miss out on a collector set? I'm going to be so mad. Not that I really wanted to buy a case anyways.
No.
It's fine. I'll wait. The price will come down probably.
Yeah, I don't think it
Yeah, if that's reflective of anything, again, very limited data point. Don't take it as anything.
No.
Don't take it to the bank. But if it's if that is reflective of a price, I mean not a price, a supply cut on this set, along with the power bump,
yeah,
we could see some wild stuff. I don't know. Again, experimental year, it's possible.
Like it could be like Ixalan.
Or maybe they figured like the distribution problem that everyone else has figured out too, and they're like, we're gonna release in smaller waves. Yeah, I don't know.
True.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's an interesting data point. I have not seen this before, and I watch this stuff for every release, so I was surprised.
Yeah.
We'll see. Give me another wave.
I'll probably wait till we get closer to Modern Horizons, and then I bet you we see the play boxes come down a little, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, probably. I would assume so. I would assume the
play boxes over time will not hold it what they
are. No, because they're overly priced. Like at distribution level, they're too expensive. You know? So I just don't see it unless the card set, which I don't think is the case, but I'm no Magic expert. If the power level of the cards in general across the set is so good that the draft boxes actually have enough heat in them. That's the only.
And you have the extra rares because they're play, and you have the extra packs because.
Yeah, and like the other stuff is hard to get. You know what I mean? Like collectors never comes down because they're just not enough, or whatever. Then I could see that happening, but it's going to be the last bastion, and it has happened. We saw that with Ixalan. It did happen. Like the play boosters went up, really, or they weren't play, but you know what I'm talking about. The normal draft boxes went up pretty quickly because they were like the only thing anyone could get after a minute. So it is possible. I'm not sure. I'm not going to hold my breath for that. So anyways.
Yeah. Crazy times.
Yep.
I actually did pick up some Magic this past week.
What did you pick up?
TikTok. Yeah.
I am surprised.
Yeah, TikTok had that spring sale, and I took advantage of it. I think I brought it up on the podcast last week. If you made it this long.
Oh, is this where you got the crazy good deal? And I was like, yeah, I don't remember what those prices were on like distribution level.
Yeah.
We were talking about you were like, oh yeah, that was actually better than I thought because I looked up what it was before or whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I got 3 boxes of collector Baldur's Gate for like 140, a little under 140.
Nice.
And then I got my case. Oh, this is Pokemon. I got a case of Temporal Forces with the boxes around 80.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
And 212 for Ravnica Remastered collectors.
Yeah, which is way better than I thought. I think when you first told me, I was like, oh, it's pretty good, but it seems kind of high. But then when we look back at it, it's like, oh no, that's actually really good.
Yeah, because they're like what, 280 or something?
I can't remember, but it was like, I think it was basically whatever the TikTok discount difference was. Like if it was $50, then like plus $50 is what distro cost was, or close to it, something like that.
Right.
I don't remember what the exact number, but when we looked up, like afterwards we talked about it, and I looked and I was like, oh no, that was actually a really good deal.
Yeah, but now it's over and my wallet is safe. So. Oh, and so I got another.
Still happening?
I got another.
TikTok thing is done?
No.
Gotcha.
I got
a very limited time.
I got a jumpstart box for 70 too. 70 that as sounds, well. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I know it sits around that 70 to 80 range, but I don't know. It's one of those boxes. I have one. I have two now, so because I do kind of want one just around for when certain friends come over and they just want to play.
Mm-hmm.
We can just grab packs. Because, I don't know, more and more Magic friends are coming out of the woodwork, and it's really funny.
Why is it funny?
People that I never thought would be interested are interested.
Now, is this their new players, or is this...
They played when...
They're coming back.
Yeah. They played a long time ago before we were friends, and I didn't know that about them.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So it's all the old heads coming back. Mm-hmm. They always come back to Magic.
Yeah.
Always comes back to Magic.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just different. It's wild. But yeah. That's all I really got. Unless there's anything else you wanted to touch on. No.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I guess until next week, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.